This week, we began a 5-week series of sermons, and it's titled, Don't Believe Everything You Think. It's inspired by the great words of the prophet Isaiah. My thoughts are not your thoughts, nor my ways your ways. You see, our craniums can become like a shuttered house, and our thoughts inside run wild. They're like maybe a hamster on a wheel, just going over and over. A monkey's running from one room to the other, and after a while, we start believing what we think. And God is challenging us in these next 5 weeks to think like He does. And in today's sermon, our title is Rethinking Our Choices. Rethinking Our Choices. We have a man in the parable who has made bad choices. First of all, he's in debt to the tune of 10,000 talents. Now, 10,000 talents is like astronomical. 1 talent is 6,000 denarii, and 1 denarius is 1 day's labor. How did he get there? Well, obviously, he made bad choices. And so he comes before the king, and the king says, okay, I'm going to sell you and your family off and take all your possessions. And the man falls down and he begs for mercy, for pity. And God, or the king, I should say, forgives him. Now, we're going to miss this whole meaning of this parable if we do not see us as this man. You might say, oh, I'm not 10,000 talents in debt. Oh, but we are. You see, I have to say that in a way, in a very real way, I'm up to my eyeballs in sin. Sins of omission, sins of commission, and sin is a debt. It's a debt to God, who is holy, and who demands that we be holy. Oh, yes, my brothers and sisters, we are this man. And what does God do? Just like the king. He forgives him. And he doesn't even have to have a payment plan to pay it back. It's all grace and mercy. And so what does he do? He walks out of his house, out of the king's presence, and he sees a servant. And this servant owes him just a fraction. And he goes berserk. He grabs him by the nape of his neck and he shakes him. He says, you pay me back. And the man begs for mercy just like he just did. And what does he do? He throws him into prison. So he pays him back. Fat chance, right? He's going to pay him back. What's his thinking like, you know? What's going on in his brain? What kind of choices is he making? Well, we certainly see that this man has an anger problem the way he responded. Anger. Isn't it amazing what Sirach said? Anger and wrath are hateful things, but the sinner hugs them. Isn't it interesting? Usually we hugged loved ones, don't we? But we can hug our anger. And dear brothers and sisters, let's be honest about it. We're angry. I hear it all over the place. We're angry about politics. We're angry about COVID. We're angry about how people treat us. We're angry about the things we don't have. And what does anger do to our thinking? It controls our thinking and makes us make bad choices. What is Jesus trying to teach us in the gospel today? He's trying to teach us to think like he does and to make choices like he does. He thinks mercifully. Compassion clears the mind. It throws open the doors and the windows of our shuttered cranium, and light comes in, and all of a sudden we find ourselves thinking the way God thinks. Anger clouds the mind, clouds our judgment, clouds our choices. Compassion clears the mind and allows us to begin to think like our Lord Jesus Christ.